It's difficult to imagine this is a 20-year-old design. I could look at this and go, yeah, I could completely run around in one of those. It's great, isn't it? It stood the test of time incredibly well, I have to say.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at
There we go. That's a nice way to come into a room, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
I think it's the first time I've seen these two parked together.
And in some ways similar eras and yet so different as well. Amazing.
Yeah. I think we should talk about these two cars chronologically, because I think there's a story to be told, right? This is the Alpina Roadster V8, which was a later version of the Z8 that was an automatic transmission with a different engine. The Z8 was manual only. But this is a very special car and a one-off, really, in terms of lineage within BMW.
And yet there's so many stories that both link these cars but make these cars in their own right individually interesting as well. The thing that I like about this car is it's really cutting edge and modern under the skin, right? With its technology.
Yes.
And yet the exterior, of course, harks back to the past.
I would say from the technology standpoint, you mentioned the chassis, it's extruded aluminum.
Yeah.
So this taught us how to work with aluminum chassis. It really was an important car as a stepping stone towards other things. 555 were made, and this is number 500. It's been in the collection since new, and the Z8 was manual only, using the M5 engine, the S62, and the US market really thought that we could expand by having an automatic transmission version of the car. It is surprisingly wonderful on twisty roads. You wouldn't think it would be so good.
You imagine that the buyer of this is looking for those romantic summer's afternoons.
But the chassis dynamics engineers did not take the day off. They worked on this car and made it right.
The story that fascinates me, at least, with this car is the link probably to that car. And it's almost the missing car is the one-off Gina, which was built upon the bones of this car.
Gina has a skin that can transform. There's a structure underneath the skin that can be moved, and the shape of the car changes.
That car still exists, and nobody touches it because the fabric's
fabric skin.
And they don't make the fabric anymore.
All right, let's have a seat in the Z8 Alpina Roadster. It's a lovely interior. Very different than the normal BMW setup where the gauges would be in front of the driver. In this case, it's angled towards the driver, so it's still for me, but it's over in the middle, so you
this car is for you, not for me as the passenger, that's for sure, they said.
And the steering wheel I love is with the bars on it.
All these switches are machined from solid, so they're all bespoke. There's nothing from any other car. Nope, not at all.
One of the differences of the Alpina, of course, the steering wheel is a little bit different. The Alpina logo in the middle, and also the up and down shift buttons, which was an Alpina patent.
Which, of course, we take it for granted today, but that was still relatively unusual at the time.
Very unusual, So let's look at this car. A little bit newer. The Z4 was available as a coupe like this, and it was also available as a roadster.
It's always complicated to talk about things like surfacing unless you've got a designer or an engineer present, but the sweep
down there.
This line here, just never been seen before on a car.
The concave part there, and then the convex underneath.
Exactly. And it's got so much sort of permission, if you like, in the panel to come out to meet it like that and to go in that direction there. But that's kind of the key thing here is this technology is moving forward with pressing and indeed the designer's imagination. What we see here is this surface that's going from flat to this cut, which goes right across the logo and the diagonal. And then it's twisting along its shape as it runs to there. And it's just unique, probably even now. It's a very clever piece of dynamic surfacing.
And I would say this sharp line along the top here, if you step back, it has a bulge over the wheel, and it comes down to the back of the door, and then it comes back up again around the rear wheel, which kind of mimics what the Z8 form factor is, right? With a long sweeping down to the bottom of the door, and then strong haunches at the rear of the car.
Well, the thing is, when you look at this, it's really busy. There's a lot going on.
Right.
And it's really easy for a designer to get that wrong and not know when to stop. And the key thing here is the busyness in there makes it something that's cohesive as one, because you've got a really good masterful touch of a designer here. You know, tracing it with your eye, you can see here what looks like a bone or a knife pushing up the metal.
Through the metal, yes.
And
which is absolutely a Gina thing.
Totally a Gina thing there. It's a whole different world of modernity, isn't it?
Definitely is, yes.
But it's still pretty minimalist. You can see the current world coming up.
Exactly.
This is the coolest thing to me is, thankfully, it's not fake carbon fiber. It's not even real carbon fiber. It's something a little bit more subtle. I mean, it's very, very cool.
Nicely done,
The
yeah.
way that that's done.
Very compact car, nice interior. And this was a car that, it was really an enthusiast car.
Yeah.
It's the M version of it, and became a fantastic track car. And it was a lot of fun, this one.
Well, I love the story that it came from the Z3, its predecessor, being
Right.
a coupe, because they just wanted to do it. The engineers
Yes.
had it in their head to do it. And of course, it gave them permission to do this.
And this car was produced in South Carolina, and
Right.
our plant in Spartanburg, and every one built for the world was built in South Carolina. So there's a U.S. story to it as
Yeah.
well. Not much of a pop-up screen, really.
And I guess if you touch it, nothing happens.
Nothing
does it?
happens when you touch it, no.
It's a different time. And I noticed the cup holders are getting more sophisticated.
They're getting more sophisticated, yes. The U.S. market was
The US market was making
asking
it. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
better and better cup holders over the years. You know, in the lineage of Z3 to Z4, the Z4 was a step up in quality from Z3. So we have to open the hood, right?
Yeah.
So let's do it. There we go. The heart of this car is the S54 from the M3. Smaller, lighter car, very advanced engine, lots of power, loved in the E46 M3, and it's loved in this as well. It was only available with 6-speed.
And clearly this car has never been very far because it's probably just come across the road from the factory.
While we have the hoods open, maybe we should have a look at the Z8 hood.
It's other brother.
It's based on the BMW M62, 4.8 liters, and Alpina tuned and actually hand-built by Alpina.
It's a nice link back, if you think, to the first episode when we looked at the CSL and Alpina's
Right.
cooperation. It sort of comes full circle here.
Link back, right.
Car there. And to the future, I suppose, for that matter. Too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this car is a beautiful cruiser,
Yeah.
and Alpina worked really hard at getting the manual shifting of the transmission right.
You didn't used to engage in an automatic car. You just sort of let it do its thing.
Whereas Alpina did a lot of development work to make the transmission responsive to the driver's needs.
It's funny because we always think of the M engines as being the sportiest engines, but sometimes what you need is the right engine, and the right engine isn't automatically a high revving one.
No. Never driven one of these with the roof up.
I'm sure nobody ever has, actually. Why would you? But it's gorgeous to look at. I mean,
Yeah.
goodness me. This is, I think, one of the best stories I found that was interesting to me, and I think it's interesting to everybody, is how transformative Gina was as a concept. So the whole idea was, what would it be like if we didn't have to make a car out of metal? They thought about using stretchable fabrics, and there was a new sort of technology that was coming to clothing of fabrics that could twist and things like that.
Right.
So this is a fabric skin car. And the thing is, although people talked about the surfacing and the unusual shapes that came from it, which was super influential. The other thing was, if you had a car made of fabric, the lights could shine through it. And so all these things, the engineers and the designers got more and more exciting, more and more creative. It was a chance to reinvent the art of the car, if you like, both from an engineering and a design perspective.
Now it's fairly common. You see lots of cars that have concave surfacing and sharp lines. In terms of having these cars in the collection, we're really quite happy to have an Alpina Roadster V8. It's a rarity. This one here is an enthusiast favorite. It is a great car.
It's a really interesting combination of two cars that have one step looking back to its past and paying respect to its heritage, and one that's got one foot firmly into the future that influenced what was the next 20 years ahead. So they're two cars from the same era looking in completely different directions. I think it's a really cool way of looking at two cars.
They're really important cars to the history of BMW. More the modern era, I would say, but both of them super important to the company, and we're lucky to have them. I think it would be a lot of fun to do this with some of the cars from the modern era as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've still got decades ahead, so yeah,
We do.
good idea.
And we have lots more cars.